Good morning, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine. I have been intermittent for a while, but I'm recovering and I feel human again and I have my voice back. So let's play. All right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an 8. I thought it was a 7. Do I have a 7? That's okay. Let's just scramble it. Do 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 do. So, new week. How's everybody doing out there? Hello. All right. Let's scramble. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Okay, I think we're scrambled. Oh, did you have fun this weekend? Did you do anything fun and exciting? Did you go out and get in the sun? Hello, kitty. Did you go be in the sun? All right. Okay. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. Works the same on a 2x2 as it does on an 8x8 or any other cube. Any other n by n cube works the same. Okay. So, let's see, there's a 2, there's a 8. Where's my... There's a 3. Scramble that one. So basically, I have just kind of slept for the last week and a half. I don't know that it was COVID. I believe that it was COVID because I babysat for my son, and he took a COVID test that came back positive. However, they all have a 1 in 3 chance of being wrong. And there wasn't enough liquid in the bottle to might have not have taken correctly. But anyway, I was sick and I'm better now. So, all right, so we've got the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. Yeah, okay, this one, corners are done already. Someone wants me to, the computer wants me to, good morning, hi you guys. I have a voice now, I can speak again. I have slept for the last week and a half and now I'm feeling human again. Alright, so, let's do this. Let's show, I scrambled everything before I was going to show the things. Alright. What's formula A? What's formula B? Formula A is 1 row, 1 column. Usually the bottom row in the right column, because I'm right-handed. And it's 4 moves. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. And so if you're working on if it's a bottom row in the right column, this is what happens. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. So what's happening is these two are switching, and as they're switching, they're twisting as they go along. Okay. So these ones switch, and these three also switch. So there's a bunch that goes on, but we're only paying attention to the corners because we're starting off there. So if this cube is in the right place but twisted wrong, formula A will twist it, and if it's a multiple of, if I finish that A with a multiple of 6 with using another corner, then the bottom half does not get affected at all, because 6 times get you back to the start. If you use the middle row and the middle column, then you end up with out, down, in, up. You end up with what we call corners. So you just have to hold it so that the three visual pieces that you're moving is, you're not moving 3 pieces, but you're moving the internal jack inside. But you want to hold that the 3 pieces you're working with are the top, front, and right, and out, down, in, up. Okay. You can also use formula A for the entire first row, but for entire first face of your cube. But when you use formula A, it affects all 6 sides rather than just the 2 sides you want to work with. So after formula, once you've used up the usefulness of formula A, formula B is done for everything else. So formula B, 1 row, 2 columns. If you're working on the corners, it's the 2 outside columns. So look at it for a second. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down, and for every other move is horizontal. Every other horizontal is the reverse of the one before it. It's a mathematical 0. It's going to move 3 pieces and only 3 pieces, and that's all it's going to do. So we may be invaded by a kitty cat, just letting you know. So slide first up, slide second up, slide down, slide down. Okay, so that 8 moved 3 pieces, and only 3 pieces. It moved these 3 corners. Okay, and you don't have to pay attention to whether or not it moved it diagonally or clockwise or counterclockwise, because if you do it, 1 is one way, 2 it's the other way, and 3 it's back to start. So in my head, which is not standard, in my head it's easier for me to just do the pattern and it's either done, or do it again and it's done. It's faster for me to do the pattern twice than it is for me to sit and look at it and go, okay, do I need to do the clockwise one or the counterclockwise one? I just do B. If it's not solved, I do B again, and then it's solved. So that's but B does everything else as well. So if B is always the top row, if we use the outside and an inside column, so instead of these 2, I'm going to use these 2. Slide up, slide down, and it moved 3 pieces. Ta-da! And only 3 pieces. Okay. So if you're doing layer by layer and you think you're down to these 3 pieces, you could set it down and then do it. Let me show you what I mean. If you've been doing layer by layer and you end up with these are the 3 pieces that need to move, 2 of them are in the same column, just offset the left down, and then these are the 3 that you move, and then move it back up again. Alright, so A brings a corner to the top, brings your center to the top, brings anything to of the first layer to the top, and then B does everything else. Top row outside corners, top row outside columns moves corners, top row outside and in does edges, and 2 inside columns moves the centers around, and everything else stays the same. So with formula A and formula B, you can do everything. Because it's always going to move 3 pieces, and only 3 pieces around. So that's what you're always going to have. You're always going to have 3 pieces. If you have 1 piece to move, you're going to have 3 pieces to move. And the exception to that is a lie. The exception to that is where you have a parity. A parity is where it looks like you have 2 pieces that want to move and only 2 pieces that want to move. But because the cube is honest, there's going to be 3 pieces. So if you only see 2 pieces, the third piece that you do not see is the third piece that you do not see. The piece that you do not see is the center to your column. The center is a quarter turn off. I have a void cube that demonstrates that, but that's okay. So if this piece wants to be here and this piece wants to be here and everything else is the sign, the third invisible piece is the layer that touches that parity. So if you make that layer turn 1/4 turn, then now you have 3 pieces, and you've just dissolved your parity, and everything will work, and you can solve it from that state now. So you can memorize parity algorithms, or you can just go work outside in, and when the parity shows up, single quarter turn, you're done. And don't have to worry about parities at the end. Alright, that's the overview. How's everybody doing? How's all you doing today? Okay, let's do this. I start with yellow, because every cube so far that I've had has had a yellow, except for, my black cubes and my purple cube. You can have a purple, but most colors have yellow. So I'm going to start with the yellow. So, okay, so here's a yellow corner. This corner is correct because I just selected it. Then I am all powerful, so this corner is correct. We're going to make all the rest of the corner of the cube match this corner, and everything will be fine. So if I had selected this one, then this is the one that's correct, and everything else is going to match it. Whichever corner you select to start with, everything else is we're just going to match everything else to that. So this corner has a yellow on it, and the yellow is on top. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the yellow corners to the top. That's the first step. So I look at the one under my left thumb is correct. I look at the one under my right thumb. I'm holding the cube, and I'm looking at the front of the cube as if it were a spreadsheet with rows and columns. And the moves of A and B are moved looking at the front, that front. Okay, those are the arrow represents the one row to move, one slice to move, and the line represents the rest of the cube, whether it's a 2x2 or a 10x10, doesn't matter. So I'm looking at this. Is there a yellow somewhere on this corner? And if there is, then formula A will bring it to the top. If there is not, then I need to look at the corner underneath it and see if there's a yellow on that corner. As long as there's a yellow in my active color, which is yellow, in one of these 2 corners, formula A is going to bring it to the top. If there's not, then I rotate the bottom row until there is. So there's got to be, as long as we've got a yellow in one of these 2, A is going to bring it to the top. So A works with these 2 corners. So we start by moving this piece away. We move the space down. We move the cube into the space, and the cube and the space back up again. And then we say, is our yellow on top? And if it's yellow's on top, then that's what we want. So we're going to rotate that corner from the right to the left out of the way. We're to the top row. We won't move the corner. We won't move the cube, just that row. So this one is correct. Is this one yellow? Yes, it is. So I'm going to move that out of the way as well. So now I'm going to work on this corner. Okay, I'm going to keep doing formula A until yellow is on top on all 4 corners. So is there a yellow on this corner? No. So I look down here. Is there a yellow here? No. At this point in time, I'm going to rotate the bottom quarter turns until the answer is yes. So now, is there a yellow in one of these 2? No. Keep going. Now, is there a yellow in one of these 2? No. Keep going. Now, is there a yellow? Yes. And you keep going until there is, because by nature of the cube, there's 4 yellow corners, so we've got to find, it has to exist. We just believe that it does. So if there's a yellow here or here, formula A is going to bring it to the top. So out, down, in, up. Is the yellow on top? Not yet. We're going to keep going. Out, down, in, up. Is the yellow on top? Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Is the yellow on top? Keep going. And when the yellow is on top, on all four corners, that is our first step. Yay! Okay. All right, so, and whichever size cube you're doing, it's the same thing. You're going to bring the four corners to the top. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Here's a yellow. Does this corner have yellow? Yes. So formula A, out, down, in, up. And out, down, and up. I keep going until the yellow comes to the top, because it will. Okay. Yellow's on top, good. Slide it out of the way to protect it. Keep going. Is there a yellow here? No. Is there a yellow here? No. Rotate the bottom quarter turns until the answer is yes. And then there's yellow one of these two places. Out, down, and up. Yellow's on top. Okay. Keep the cube stable. Rotate the top row to move it out of the way and protect it. And continue with this corner. We're going to keep doing formula A until yellow's on top on all four corners. So rotate the bottom until there's a yellow there. There is. And then out, down, in, up. And the yellow is on top on all four corners. Now when you get to this position, there's three things that it could possibly look like. Okay? Either all of the corners are going to be correct. Sorry. Or none of the colors are going to be correct, or all of the corners are going to be correct. You can never have two or more sides, unless they're all correct. So, so let me demonstrate here. All right. So here, here they're all correct. Okay, the red equals red, blue equals blue. But here, green equals blue, red equals orange, green equals blue, red equals orange. The yellow's on top, but they're not correct on any side. Okay? Here they're correct on one side. They match on one side, is correct to each other. This one is also one side, the yellow side. So if we don't have, if none of the sides match, it doesn't matter how we hold it to begin. We're going to do the step. And when we're done, we're going to have one side that matches. But if one side does match, we're going to do this step, and when we're done, all the sides are going to match. So, the side that matches faces away, and we're going to do formula B now. Okay, top row, up, two columns. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And it looks like we messed up our yellows, but we haven't. We've just moved three pieces around. And we already know how to bring the yellow back to the top. So formula A brings the yellow back to the top. Ta-da! When the yellow's on top, slide the top to protect it. Keep the cube stable. Okay, and now try it on all four sides. Here's this one. We've got the yellow side, orange sides that match. Hold it away from us. Top row, outside columns, we're going to do formula B, and these three pieces are going to move, and then we're going to bring the color back to the top. Slide up, slide down, and then we don't even worry about it. We bring the yellow to the top first, before we even look. Up, slide the top to protect it, keep going. Down and up. Okay, yellow's on top, slide it out of the way to protect it, keep going. And when the yellow is on top on all four corners, then we can assess. And the sides are going to match now. Okay. And we're only looking at the corners. We're only looking at so our first four corners are correct to each other. Yay! Now we can do with this. You can do whatever layer. You can do whatever method you want. You can go. I do corners first, then I do edges, then I do centers. But you can do layer by layer. You can just. Whatever I want to do next, I can do, because it's just going to be formula B. So yellows are done. I'm going to put them face down, and I'm going to abandon them, and I'm going to work on my second 4 corners now. Okay. The second 4, all 4 corners have a white on it, so that's what I'm working on. Okay, this one has a white on top. This one has a white on top. I have to start with a piece to the left. The cube under my left thumb is the one I'm going to start with. So I'm going to do Formula A to bring my active color white to the top on all 4 corners. Okay. So out, down, in, up, down, in, up. White's on top. I'm going to slide the top row to move it out of the way to protect it, and continue with this one. Keep going with Formula A until white comes to the top on that one. And when white is on top on all 4 corners, then we can check on our yellows and see how they're doing, because they do scramble, but they resolve themselves. As long as we're only using Formula A and Formula B on the top, the bottom does not get affected, not get disrupted. Okay, so white's on top. So yellow corners face down, boom. This one is white, this one is white, so let's start right this way. Gonna bring this white to the top using Formula A. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White is on top. Slide the top to move it out of the way so we can continue working on a piece that wants to be affected, and we can safeguard the piece that does not want to be affected anymore. So more Formula A, and we keep going until white is on top on all 4 corners. And when white is on top on all 4 corners, then we can check our yellows and make sure that they're still happy. If we check on the yellows while we're still in the middle of our 6 set of Formula A's, we will no longer be protecting our yellows. So that's why we don't turn the cube. We only rotate the top layer. We keep the cube stable, and the yellows are going to go back to the way that they want to be. So white's on top. Does blue equal green? Does red equal blue? Does orange equals orange? Okay, so either no side matches, one side matches, or all of them match. If all of them match, you go on to the next step. If none of them match, it doesn't matter which way you hold it. But if one side matches, you hold it facing away from you, as if you're in a car and those are the headlights driving away. So Formula B, slide up, slide down, and our yellows are still happy because Formula B doesn't mess them up. And then we're going to use Formula A to bring the white to the top, and as long as we keep the cube stable, the yellows will continue to be happy because they won't be affected. But if we rotate the cube instead of just the top layer, it will disrupt what we have. So Formula A and Formula B don't disrupt the bottoms. They only move what you want them to move. So the first 4 corners are still correct. The second 4 corners are now correct to each other. Rotate the top until it matches the bottom, and those corners are done. So here we've got green does not equal red, blue does not equal green, red does not equal blue, but orange equals orange. So we're holding it so that the orange is facing away from us. And Formula B, slide up, slide down, and then A to bring the white back to the top again. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Hold the cube stable, rotate the top to slide that out of the way, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide the top, hold the cube stable, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Second 4 corners are now correct to each other. The first 4 corners are again correct to each other still. And we've got now green equals green, red equals red, blue equals blue. And so the first 4 are correct to each other, the second 4 are correct to each other. We rotate the top until the top and the bottom are correct, and the corners are now done. On whatever cube, whatever size cube you're working on, the corners can be done the exact same way, simply by ignoring everything except for the corners and doing the exact same thing. Ta-da! Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-bum. Excuse me, still have a little bit of a cough. All right. So corners are done. And on a small cube, that you're done. But on any larger cube, we use the corners to establish what color each face is going to be. We used to, when all we had was a 3x3, we would always let the center establish what color the faces would be, because the center was one internal piece and it could not move relative to itself. So we always worked around the center. Once we got to a 4x4, that no longer became the case, because the centers can be any color. On an even number cube, the centers can be any color. You have to memorize in your head, wait a minute, which color is opposite which color and in which orientation. Or you can do the corners, and the corners will remember for you. You don't have to remember. So our corners are done, and that feels like a good stopping place. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for spending time with me this morning. Bring me your questions, and bring me your non-cuber friends if you wanna, because that would be fun. All right, so I'm gonna go eat breakfast and get ready for my day. But thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate you guys. This is awesome to me. So, all right, bye.